bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Good evening. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Today is Monday, November 6th, 2023. Tonight, my guests were going to be Dan Baldwin and George Sewell. But we were going to discuss pendulum dowsing and how it can be used to contact the dearly departed, including spirits of the Southwest. And that was the plan. We had technical issues. We just couldn't get them on. And even stranger than that, there was about a 10-second delay between me and them. So I would ask a question, and there was about a 10-second pause until the answer. So we had 10-second gaps. I don't know what was causing that. And that's really bad radio, by the way. And there's just no way that we could do that show. So we will reschedule Dan and George for next week and pick things up from there. Okay, so I apologize for that and everybody that was here tonight for Dan and George. But, you know, I was explaining to them, and I've said this so much to all of you so many times, I don't panic anymore. I don't panic. I just don't panic. Back when I was doing sports, you know, the sports version of this show, and I did that for 3 years. And no technical issues. Ever. Nothing. Never had a single issue. Every show, live, boom, done, feeds, everything, fine. Not an issue. Start doing this stuff, you know, all the things that we do, UFOs, conspiracies, time travel, supernatural, paranormal, lost history, all of the things that we cover on the show. Suddenly, technical issues, like all the time. And in the very beginning, which was 10 years ago now, we are in 2023, back in 2013. And if I had I would freak, throw stuff, tip stuff over, just lose it. And then it happened again. I was like, man, I got to quit breaking stuff because it's getting expensive. I've got to stop getting angry, because this is the world that I'm in, and things just happen. And so anyway, I don't panic anymore. And if there is anything that's going slightly wrong, if it happens during the show continues. If it happens during sound check, okay, all right, reschedule. We'll get your stuff fixed. And the issues very rarely are on this side. I've done 2,000 shows, over 2,000 shows out of the studio. I've done other people's shows and stuff out of the studio, plus coast to coast and everything else. This is worked out. There really aren't any issues here at the studio. So there you go. So tonight we're going to do an AMA. Haven't done an AMA in a couple of months. So we're due for one anyway. That's the universe reaching out to us going, you know what, Jimmy, you've got to talk. You've got to talk to your community. You've got to answer their questions. You've got to just do that. Let's do an AMA tonight. So post your questions in the chat with all caps. And let me get over to, since now this is completely improvised and happening in real time, let me get over to Twitter X. I'll get over to X. And I've got, we had a massive solar flare yesterday. That's true. Massive solar flare. CM3 came through. 2, not 1. We had 2 over the weekend. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Not really sure. But you can post in hashtag F2B, which I have live right here to my right. Okay. So all caps, please, just questions in all caps. Jonocide is with us. Bill is with us, and posting right there. Questions in all caps, please. That's from Jonocide. Jonocide is the boss. I'm just going to let you guys know. He calls the shots around here, and he's the shot caller, but the real boss is Bill. So Bill is, so you need to know your level of stuff. So your first foray into anger, point that at Jonocide. But if you got to take it up a level, take it up to Bill. I kid. Okay. All right. Anyway, post your questions in all caps, and I'll slowly scroll through and get to all of your questions, and we're going to do it that way. Do you guys remember my squeaky chair? And then I actually went through two squeaky chairs where I just wore them out. This chair is good. This chair has been good for a while. Okay. This chair doesn't squeak. You know what squeaks in here now? You want to hear it? Listen. Hear that? Oh, now it's not squeaking. Oh, yeah. It's my keyboard shelf that sits right in front of me. My stupid keyboard shelf. So if I put my hand and just like lean on it, it goes. You hear that? It sounds like a bird. So now I've got a squeaky shelf. And I tried to get in there with some WD-40 over the weekend. Now, it seems to have chilled out. Squeaky shelf drove me nuts this weekend. I had so much work to do. I worked nonstop all weekend. I was up at 7 a.m. and worked till probably 11 o'clock at night, midnight or so. There were some movies I wanted to get in this weekend. I didn't do that. I wanted to binge a couple of things. I didn't get around to it. I did nothing but work, and I had to go and I had to do voiceover stuff for Into the Vortex, and a graphic designer was working on some motion graphics that are looking really good. You may have seen it before the show tonight. Let me see if I can. Let me see here. Let me pull up. I got a couple of things that were sent to me for, ideas on this motion graphics. I'm like, man, this stuff looks pretty good. And okay. So let's see. A couple of these have been posted. Check this out. Let me see how quickly I can do this. Yeah, I can pop this up. Watch this. And I got a bunch of these in. Let's see. I don't know which ones these are. Let's see. Let's pull this one up. Let's see what this one is. I've got like 10. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So working on that this weekend as well, and I've got a bunch of those finished, but it just all took time. It took a lot of time. Plus, I cranked out a documentary. It's 10 minutes. Oh. You guys keep the questions coming in. Let me keep you updated on a couple of things. I told everybody that as soon as the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available, I was going to get one, and I did. It's right here. There's the new iPhone 15 Pro Max. And okay, so they weren't available. All right, I had to order it, and I went to a bunch of, I use Verizon and Verizon stores, and nobody had them in stock. I went to 3. And so I ended up ordering one, and I got it in. All right, so there's that part. Let me tell you why that video with Mohammed Ibrahim got posted this weekend. Let me tell you what's cool about the iPhone 15. First off, let me just say the graphics and the new cameras on it and the lenses are just amazing. I've got lens protectors here on this. Those are aluminum rings. You can see it right there, and with glass. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Just a regular Pelican case. But the cameras are incredible. All right, so there's that part, and you expect it. Okay, everything just gets better and better and better. That's not what makes the iPhone 15 so cool. What makes the iPhone 15 so cool is that USB-C right there. All right. Now, well, Timmy, it's just a USB-C. Oh, not so fast. All right. Now, I've got an iPhone 14. I've got 3. I've got 3 iPhones. I got 3 different phone numbers. Okay. I do. I could bring in the iPhone 14 and show you what I'm talking about, but I'll describe it here. Those have Lightning connectors. Lightnings are not USB-C. All right. This is the trippy part. That USB-C, accessing files, especially long video files. So you go and shoot a 20-minute video, right? How do you get that off of your iPhone? Well, the old way of doing it is going and selecting the video. It goes to Dropbox or to another Dropbox. You get the email that comes in. You click on that, and then you go and you download the video, and it's just a huge process. Okay, all right. Not anymore with the so. There you go. All right. That's USB-C. That plugs in to the bottom of the phone. And then you take a thumb drive. There's a 1 terabyte thumb drive. That pops into here. Boom. And you now have a hard drive on your iPhone. Just like that. Copy, paste, do whatever, move your files around instantly. No Dropbox, no email, no download, no nothing. You pop that in your computer, drag and drop, done. Everything takes seconds. Seconds. I don't know how many videos I have on this phone, but I'm going to take a wild guess because I kind of know now. I've got about 400 gigabytes of video files. 400 gigabytes of video files. And now, just drag, drop. So now I've got folders full of video files, and I am now ready. Now I've got the motion graphics done so I can have intros and outros to videos, and now I can go and post everything. And if you think about where I have been lately, I don't know how many countries I have been to this year, but I shot videos everywhere. I'm going to Peru next week. Next week, next week, I'm in Peru. All right. So, and I'm going to be there for 3 weeks. I'm going to Nazca. I'm going to Machu Picchu. I'm going to Pumapuku. I'm going to Cusco. I'm going to Titicaca. I'm going to Sacsayhuaman. And I'm going to shoot videos all over the place. And I am now able to come back and just pop these videos together and get them out so everybody can share this stuff with me. Before, when I would show you videos, I would have to sit there and download, do this, get it on, and that's why the videos that you see are so limited. Just a hassle. Just a hassle. It was a pain in the butt. Number 2, I now have them for both iPhones. I have them for Lightning and USB, but I bought the products first and tested them. And now I've upped my game and got even better versions of it. But USB-C lav microphones. So now I can have 2 lav mics, one on the person that I'm talking to, one on me, and it turns out perfect. And so, again, it's about video production. And this dude right here, that little USB-C to USB-A dongle that plugs into the iPhone and done. I would have gotten USB-C flash drives, but they don't plug in because of my case. And I don't want to take the case off. It blocks it. But tiny little input, boom, done. Everything's perfect. I've been downloading. One last thing before I get to the questions. I'll flash the name. I don't care. This is a SanDisk. Okay. And this is 512 gigabyte. And on one side, it's got a little switch on it. So on one side, pop, USB-C. You turn it around, you flip the switch, pop, USB. That seems perfect, doesn't it? Right? So I don't need a dongle. I only need one of these. Technically, that would be true. Except USB-C, see the width of that? Won't plug into my iPhone. Not with the case. It stops. You see that? You see that? And I was like, I can't win, man. So this, if anybody needs a drive, 500 terabyte or 500 gigabytes. So that just sits there. So that was part of my weekend, sussing out and getting all of this stuff. We live in this technical world, and everything should be like easy to do. But once I got this figured out and I got this, I'm done. And I love this so much. Oh, by the way, I got 2. And one of these from Apple, $30. Or you can get 2 for $6.99 at Best Buy. $6.99 fixed my world. And I was driving back from Best Buy going, man, this is so great. And I had gone through a bunch of cabling and a bunch of testing just to make sure that these flash drives would work. And I ended up, the flash drives that I ended up buying are the ones that don't slide. You know, I don't want to slide. I don't like that. I don't want it to break or anything. So anyway, but that's it. Everything works. Everything's done. So get ready. There is a lot of Fade to Black movies coming your way. I have got so much stuff, and I'm going to continue filming. I shot stuff in the UK. You're going to get that, right? I shot stuff in the Bahamas. You're going to get that. 2 trips to Egypt. You've got those coming at you. I just got back from Mexico. I shot all over Mexico. You haven't seen anything. You've seen little clips, the tiny ones, but I got a bunch of really good footage. And so I'm able to now put all of this stuff together, and it's easy to do. And I can't wait for that. So anyway, so I thought I'd share that with you. And I hope that everybody, I just saved you a lot of time and effort. There are reasons to get the iPhone 15, and that USB-C connector is all the difference in the world. No more lightning. So, okay. All right. Are we cool? We're cool. I just told you everything to buy, everything to do. I should have an Apple endorsement. Okay. All right. Let's back up. Tonight's an AMA, an emergency AMA. I love doing this. Haven't done it in quite a while. And so there are, Terry Toll says, Church, are we hanging out if I come to Vegas? Wait a minute. If you come, you're coming to Vegas. Terry, are you bringing Max? I can't wait to see you, Terry. Yeah, we're going to hang, brother. We're going to hang. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. But texting with people all day today. So when are you getting there? What are we going to do? What are we going to? I'm too busy. I'm busy. No, I'm not. A couple of other updates. Terry, I can't wait to see you, my friend. Dinner and drinks are on me. Even though you're a doctor. All right, Terry, I can't wait to see you. What I was just going to say something that was important, but now I forgot what it was. And it had to do with Vegas. It had to do with Vegas. I'll be getting to Vegas Thursday night, Thursday afternoon. I've got stuff to do as soon as I get there, but all of you Fadernauts, I'll be hanging out Thursday night in one of the bars. So and there's a pretty cool cantina on the second level in the pyramid. I will probably be somewhere in there. All right, let's go to Wayne. Wayne, you're supposed to be doing this in all caps, but I see that this is a legitimate question because it was underneath Terry Tolls. Terry, I'm coming to Indy, by the way. Fade to Black Live. Fade to Black Live. We're going across the United States in 2024. Our first show, Fade to Black Live, is in Scottsdale, Arizona on April 20th, 420. Arizona State University. And my guest that night, I'll post out links for everybody to go get tickets. So it's Fade to Black Live. I have got Nick Pope. I've got Vivian Chauvet. I've got James Keenan. And I have Dr. Lynn Kate. All 4 guests, Fade to Black Live all day long in a theater setting. We're going to do some presentations. We are going to do a panel that I am going to host. And then Nick Pope and I are going to sit down and have a chat for a couple of hours. So it's a full day event. It's going to run from like 10 o'clock, I think, in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we're going to have a brief break, a meet and greet with everybody, and then a private dinner. And seating for the dinner is just 20. That's it. So 20, very intimate setting. Could be bigger. I was thinking, no, we're going to go the opposite. We're just going to go with 20 people at a very nice restaurant. And so I will send everything out for that, but Fade to Black Live. And so we are doing the first run through will be Scottsdale, Indianapolis, and Miami. Okay, so we're going West Coast, Midwest, East Coast, Scottsdale, Indianapolis, and then Miami. Miami will be on my birthday on October 10th. Okay, so that's going on next year too as well. I told myself that 2023 was just too busy. Next year, 2024, taking the year off. Well, no, that's not the case. Simply not the case. One last thing really quick. Into the Vortex is premiering December 4th. Okay, on Gaia. So if you haven't seen season 1, we're going to send out links for that. Go and check out season 1. Season 2 premieres December 4th. All right, this is from Wayne. Jimmy, have you read The Dancing Wu Li Masters? No, I haven't. What is that? Okay, there's this new thing called Google. Really cool. Dancing with, what was that? The Dancing. Oh, okay, hold on. the dancing Woolly Masters. Okay, all right. Well, what is that? The Dancing Woolly Masters. Dancing Woolly Masters. I don't know. Explores the quantum physics and how this new scientific research in the field has changed the thinking of many scientists. Okay, all right. I will check it out. There you go. Let me click on this. I am going to star this. I'm starring it right now. Watch this. Okay, boom, done, star. Okay, I'm going to get this. I like this. That's by Gary Zukav. Okay, wow, good ratings on this book. It came out in 2009. How did I miss that? All right, thank you for that, Wayne, and I will check it out. Renee Newman, what food and drinks? Oh, Renee. Okay, so here's Renee, my intrepid news producer. Renee's been with the show for 10 years. 10 years, man. 10 years of fantasticness with Renee Newman. She says, what food and drinks will you have for Thanksgiving dinner this year? I'm going to be in Peru for Thanksgiving. Yeah. I need to email Peru. What's the weather like? Does anybody know what the weather is like in Peru? I need to know what to pack. You know, if it's anything like up here, but it's a different hemisphere. Are the seasons the same? You know, I'm going to be high up in the Andes Mountains. Is it going to be freezing cold? Do I need to bring like thick jackets? And I have all that. What am I packing? I'll tell you something else about Thanksgiving that I definitely know what I'm going to have on Thanksgiving. I'm going to have 220 voltage. Yeah, so I had to pack all of that stuff. It's 220 voltage down there. Yeah, I'm going to be in Peru for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Let me reach down there. Thank you for reminding me, Renee. I'll talk to my peoples and see what I'm doing. Renee's so good. Renee, I'm going to say this to everybody. Renee is in my head. She's in my head. Renee is in my head. She knows what I'm thinking before I think it. She sends me the email. She sends me the stuff. She sends me the thoughts that I'm thinking as I'm thinking them. It's like it's gone to a whole nother level of weirdness. That Renee, she's so good. Thank you, Renee, for everything that you do. All right. Yeah, I knew that this was going to come up on today's show. All right. So I woke up this morning to phone calls. James Fox. And it was 2 back-to-back calls, 3. I'm like, what's going on? So I read the tweet, and I caught now the reason why. Okay, so this let me back up. This is why it was a James Fox morning. James Fox is going to be at Stairway to the Stars this weekend. And there were certain plans that are being made, and there's some other stuff. And I'm going to show you this. I can show you this. You guys want a treat? Do you guys want a treat? Let me. I'm gonna give you guys a treat right now. Something that nobody has ever seen. Okay. All right. So let me pop this up. This is here. And this is one of the reasons why I was talking to James Fox today. Okay, so Fox sends me this. Fox sends me this, and this is an image of him editing in his studio. Okay, so you can see here, that's his editor and stuff going on. So, and then this is the main screen. So you can see here, see his editor. Okay, I've already showed you guys too much here, but So I get that. So I'm in the new James. Well, right now, the final edits aren't done, but I'm in James Fox's new film. Very cool. And then the conversation quickly shifts, and I was like, "What tweet?" And so I go and I read the tweet. So hence this question here from, let's see, this is from For Tomorrow. Is that what that is? For tomorrow, 4 p.m. Can you speak about James Fox's tweet on X? And then right after that, here's another question. It's from Christian. What can you say about James Fox's tweets? Okay. So I did. And then I turned around and tweeted after I spoke to Fox, and I replied to it and saying, I just spoke to James, and I'm pretty pissed off. Now, I can't say anything right now. First off, it's up to James to address this. And he did say in his video that he would address it. I know that he's going to. Okay, I'll say that. And here's the other issue. And once this starts to, come out and things, everybody will understand what I'm about to say. Okay. I have relationships with everybody that is involved. Okay, I know everybody. And that puts me in a very strange position. There's that issue. And it puts me in a strange position because I can't. It's like, you've got friends that are a couple, and you can't get involved in between. You can't. No matter what you say, you will never say the right thing. You're not going to help the situation. There's that part of it. The second part is because when things like that happen, you start to back up and you're like, I'm really not cool. Man, is my opinions change? What's going, and there's that part. And the third part is, I need to choose my words very carefully here. This isn't on James. He's being messed with. That's as far as I'm going to go. And I am so angry and so upset about the situation that I'm very tempted to get involved, but I can't. And I am angry. All right. And James, who is on the outside looking in, he's watching the stuff unfold. He's like, man, can't I just be a researcher? Can't I just be a filmmaker? Can't I just direct pictures? Can't I just go and ask questions and chase down answers? Can't I do that? And just that. Why do we need all of this other very, very serious situations? Why? When it's not him. It's a bizarre situation. That's as far as I can go with it. And I'm going to leave that right there. And I think that in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be with James all weekend. And I know that people are wondering about this. And probably if you get access to James, he's going to, people are going to ask him about this tweet, what it means. And maybe he's ready to start talking about it. We shall see. At the earliest possible opportunity, I will have him on Fade to Black, and we'll just get all of this out into the open if it is possible. And I assure everybody, if it is possible, it'll happen right here. Okay? All right. I hope that, I know that doesn't answer any of your questions, but let me just say this. It's not on James. All right? All right. Let's see. Let's go to Danny. Danny says, I have a pretty good picture of what I think is a UFO. What do I do with it? Send it to me. Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. And Danny referenced this question, so I know it's you. I get a lot of email, but send it to me, and I'll take a look at it. All right? And I'll hit you back. And if hear that squeak? And with your permission, if it seems interesting, I can certainly pass it on to a really good analyst that can also take a look at the picture. Send me the rawest raw file that you can, the most original version of the photograph. Okay? All right. Let's see. Just to piss off the sheriff here, I got a turbo axe. Oh, man. I love that. Okay. Let's see. This is Sherry Graham. Sherry Graham says, have you ever seen a UFO? Personally, I have. I've seen many. Love your show. Thank you for that, Sherry. I've seen so many now that I need to be asked specifically about a specific one. And it happens all the time where I'll go, oh, that's right, that happened. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that happened too. It's kind of like that now. I've been in some very unique situations with people to see something. The stuff that I've seen alone by myself, I don't talk about that as much because I don't have a witness to back it up. And not to back it up, but to back it up, but also to tell their version of it. Because when you have more than one person seeing the same thing, they should have the exact same story, right? Well, they don't, and it varies. And that's why it's really cool to have somebody else tell their version of something. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff. And okay, so Sherry, I'll tell you, I'll share one with you that I haven't talked about a lot. And I was by myself, and it was here in Palmdale. And I went out to the edge of Edwards Air Force Base. Now, you can go to Google Maps, you can look up Edwards Air Force Base, and you will see that Edwards sits in the middle of the desert, and it's to the south of the base is the Merock Dry Lake Bed, Salt Lake Bed. And so that's where Edwards is, and they do a lot of testing out there, and that's where Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier in the X-1 landing, in the lake bed there. So I'm better. I go out to Edward, and I just gotten here. I was shopping for houses. Didn't know the lay of the land. Now, I've been out to this location many times since then. I was just out there with James Fox, actually, a few weeks ago. So I go out to this spot, and the only reason why I'm at this spot is because I was looking at Google. I was looking at my navigation in the Jeep, trying to get as close to Edwards as I could, and I saw that there was a huge gap. But this road south of Edwards was as close as I was going to get. What I didn't realize was I was driving out to the middle of the desert. It was at night. It was about 10 o'clock at night. So driving, and I could see to my left. Now, I'm on a dark desert road. This is like Hotel California on a dark desert highway, right? Okay, cool wind in my hair. Warm smell of colitas rising up in the air. And I'm driving. And what are colitas, by the way? Do you guys know? I know. Do you know? Driving, and I could see Edwards off to my left. It's lit up. It's miles away, but you can see it. It's in the middle of the desert. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I'm looking at the navigation. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty south of the base, like right south. So I pull over. I go across the street, complete darkness, black. I went out there the next day. I could not believe how remote I was and stuff. That kind of freaked me out. And so anyway, I'm standing there at the fence line, and right in front of me, I could see on the fence line is a sign that says warning, restricted area, unlawful entry, penalty of death by the deputy base commander kind of thing. One of these warning signs. And so I know I'm there. And as I'm standing there, and I've got my cell phone in my hand, and it's down here, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking at Edwards, and then right above Edwards is lit up, but right above it, like 10 degrees up, like right in my line of sight, just a little bit up, I see off in the distance, like static from a TV, static, gray, black, white, and I see it flutter. Oh, wow, okay. All right, it's kind of weird. And as I'm looking at it, this was going on for just a few seconds, 5 seconds. It's doing this static thing. At that moment, it goes right around the bottom, a ring of lights. Stop. Once. What? Oh, that's pretty cool. And as I'm looking at it, it goes, and it goes out. It's black. Nothing there. And as I'm looking in that same general area, this is maybe 30 seconds later, 15 seconds later, 30 seconds later, my memory says that. I'm looking, and it does it again. Static. And it goes black. And I went, holy crap. Get your camera ready. So I cell phone, put it on video, and I'm standing there for like the next 20 minutes. Nothing. So I still can't believe I didn't get an opportunity to shoot that. So I go back across the street, get in my Jeep, go back, go to a burger place, grab a burger, go back to the hotel I was staying at. And I was there shopping for a house. The next morning, I get up for breakfast at the hotel. Free buffet. Never pass up a free buffet breakfast. And I walk out of the hotel. It's like 10 in the morning. And I was meeting my realtor at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I had time to kill. And I'm out in front of the hotel, and I'm looking, and I'm like, man, Edwards is right there. I'm going back. So I jump in the Jeep. My navigation is already marked. I follow the same spot. I pull right up. I can see my tire tracks from the night before in the sand. I pull up in right there, same spot, go across the street. I see my footprints on the side of the road. And I look, there's the fence line, there's the no trespassing sign or the warning sign. And I look, and there's Edwards. And then I look up, and while I was driving away the night before, but I wasn't thinking UFO. When I was driving away the night before, I'm trying to keep myself from going crazy. I'm going, it was a radio tower. It was some kind of radio tower with a warning light on the top for airplanes so they don't hit it when they're landing. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I'm just trying to relax myself. And so the next day, I pull up and I look, and there's nothing there. And all I can see Edwards. There's mountains behind it, a little higher, and then clear blue sky all the way up. And now I'm imagining where it was. And it was in the blue sky, way above Edwards, by the way. And that's right. And it's one of those, never heard anything described this way before. And I'm not saying I was missing time, nothing like that. I didn't get abducted, not that I know of. And nothing like that happened. There was something strange. I didn't see it fly away. I didn't even see it move. It was in the same exact spot. So I don't have anything like that with this sighting, but the staticky part was pretty strange. Still trying to answer that in my mind. The ring of lights, that was like Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters of the Third Kind thing. Why did that happen? I don't know. But that's it. Yeah, and I wish I had somebody that, I took James Fox out there. I've taken probably a half a dozen friends out there. They all want to go to that location. I can take them straight there and show them everything. What I did find out later is that road that I was on, if you take it just another 50 yards, another 100 yards up the road, it T-bones. And if you go left, that's the entrance to Edwards Air Force Base, the South Gate. I didn't know that was there. I found that out later. But if you continue on that road, now see, because the warning signs are there and they're ginormous, right? Stop, turn around, go back, right? Restricted territory. It literally says official vehicles only from this point forward. And so I've always like taken people up and taken pictures and stopped, turn around and left. But just recently, I've done this now 3 times. I've driven past those signs and kept going. And it goes right up to a big, like serious, like for reals security gate, building and things and vehicles and stuff. And what is on that road between the signs, and I didn't know this before, between the signs and that gate are security cars parked on the side of the road. They're watching everybody come in and out of that gate, pickup trucks. They say Air Force Police on it. Right there, man. It says they're clearly marked, but they're up and down that street. And I'm over there right around the corner, right up on the fence line, right up on the warning sign. I've got one of the warning signs right here. It says, while on this installation, all personnel and property under their control are subject to search. Use of deadly force is authorized. Took one of the signs. I said, snip, snip. Took one of the signs, put it right there. Yeah. Nobody's supposed to know that. It's probably illegal. I was with James Fox and I, and let me get to these questions. I'm sorry about that. James Fox and I went out with this film crew and we're filming all over the desert. And we pulled up along the side of the road. And I said, okay, now look over my shoulder. Okay, now you see that? What do you see? We see the warning signs. I said, okay, how many of them are there? I don't know, hundreds? Yeah, exactly. There's one like every 50 feet for the next 8 miles. Right? I wasn't exaggerating. It's the truth. I go, now, who's got wire cutters? Fox shoots me this look like, what? I said, dude, don't you want one of those signs? No. You talk a big game. But when it comes down to it, no. And he should have got one. He should have. Pop that baby on video. Okay. Let's see what's next. Lord Nelson. Jimmy, what do you think about the new Beatles song? I haven't heard it yet. I heard it's great. I know that artificial intelligence assisted in it. I know that all of the Beatles played it and played on it. And I know that this was John Lennon's last recording with the Beatles. I have not heard it yet. And there's reasons for that. I've read all of the reviews. The reviews have been great on the song. I have not heard it yet. And I will go and check it out. Okay. Let's see. Next. Astro Michael, what's your favorite sci-fi book and author? Man, no question about it, hands down. There's only one answer for this, and there's a lot of great stuff out there. But Rendezvous with Rama, Arthur C. Clarke. All of the Rama books, Rama Revisited, The Garden of Rama, Rendezvous with Rama, all of them with Gentry Lee. Oof. without a doubt, my favorite. And there's a lot of great science fiction out there. That's right. That way better than 2001. So Arthur C. Clarke. I just told everybody about how hard I worked this weekend. I wrapped last night at about 11 o'clock and curled up in bed. It's about 10:30. It's like, man, what am I going to watch? What am I going to watch? I'm like going through my movie files of things that I have on disc and not DVD, like on the hard drive. And I'm going through. I'm going, oh man, Childhood's End, 3-part. It's long, but I watched it. And I forgot, I talk about it all the time. I forgot how great that is, how great of a story it is. And the film version of it, 3-part, because it's a short story from Arthur C. Clarke and or a short book. And anyway, the movie version is so excellent. It's beyond. But anyway, Rendezvous with Rama. In the Rama series, Arthur C. Clarke with Gentry Lee. Thank you for that, Astor Michael. All right, let's see. Android says, will you have Timothy Alberino back to discuss his trip to Peru? I will. He is down in Central America right now filming with the crew. So I can't say any more than that. And Timothy, if I just spoke out of line without permission, I apologize for that. But as soon as he gets back, he will be on the show. All right. I also want him on Into the Vortex. But Timothy Alberino has been on my mind lately. I've been talking about Timothy with a bunch of different people, and I just think he is brilliant on every level. So thank you for that. For Android, I know that right now, I don't want to give his location away, but he's down. He's somewhere between Texas and the tip of Argentina. He's in there somewhere, Central America. So there you go. Okay. All right. Let's see. Will you be watching? Now, I heard about this. I didn't hear about this until yesterday. And I have an interview to do tomorrow in the middle of the day. I'll just let everybody know I'm on Ron Keel's show. And, the singer, Ron Keel. So I'm on his show tomorrow. So I won't be able to, during the day, I won't be able to catch this live. Maybe I'll watch parts of it. I need to get the links and I need to get all of this sussed out. I didn't find out about it until yesterday. And they could have squeaky. Did you hear that? See, all I did was lean. You hear it? All I did was lean. Hearing on the bodies. So, and that's from Marissa. Somebody email me. I can chase it down, but just email me the links so I don't have to chase it down first thing in the morning. Let's see. Okay, questions in all caps. Yes, we got that. Okay. All right. Next, unknown user, night vision, monocular or binocular? This is a great question. Any recommendations? Also, would a rifle scope work? Okay, now there's a few ways to answer this. So let me say this first. There are so binoculars, monocular. I prefer binoculars. And this is why. You can get a monocular, same piece, same night vision tube and everything. But when you're looking at one eye like this all night, right? And you do this for a couple of hours, and then you take this off and you walk around, your eyes are out of their you feel like you're drunk. You can't walk right. You can't see right. And you've messed up one eye for a while. And it may not even be the eye that you were looking at in the monocular. This eye's been relaxed, right? This eye's been stressed. And so anyways, now you're trying to look with two eyes and you're walking around like, man, oh, what, man, am I on a ship? So at least when and you're done with this, both eyes are messed up. So they're messed up together. And you don't feel straight, then they, and that's why you get they're not going to be one better than the other. Okay? All right. So get the binoculars. So you're looking at two at the same time. And I hope I gave you the most obvious reasons why. And I learned the hard way. All right. Now, there are people out there that prefer this and it's fat. I get that. I totally get it. All right. But if you're out scanning the sky all night, in the middle of the night, in the dark, and you're doing this for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, which is a normal, UFO night out with the friends and the family, you are going to have messed up vision after that. And if you have to drive, you have to do anything, it takes a minute, man. To get your eyes back working together and properly. You get the binoculars, you're fine. So do that. And I squinting with one eye, and and that's just me. That's just me. You may operate under different principles. Rifle scope, no, unless you got a night vision rifle scope, which is a monocular, but nah. Telescopes don't work at all. Do you have a favorite sports team? Nope. I used to. I don't follow sports anymore. I have no idea. Is the NFL still happening? Is the NBA still a thing? I have no idea. I'm so unsports now. Sports was my life. I am so happy that I don't use my available memory and brain cells on sports. Man, I used to memorize every team of every division of every sport. Right? Baseball. All right, man. Who's the relief pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow night? I would know that. Texas Rangers. Who was the relief pitcher, the Texas Rangers in 1984? I used to rattle these stats off, right? And the movement of divisions and people and things and teams of the man. The starting defensive four of every NFL team. Man, I would rattle that off. What's the average weight of the starting defensive four for the Minnesota Vikings? Let's go. Right? Oh, that's an easy answer. It's 1,200 pounds. And I know none of that now. So there you go. Do I have a favorite sports team? Can you tell a story when you were in the hospital for a year? I was never in the hospital for a year. Mental hospital. I was in the hospital for 38 days, 29 days. Yeah. And here it is here. I wasn't in the hospital for a year. I was 19, 20 years old, and I got sick and didn't know what was wrong with me. And eventually, it got really, really bad after about a week or so, to the point where my friends were looking at me going, dude, we're taking you to the hospital. And that's really as far as I want to go with that. Well, anyway, when the last thing that I remember, that's what I was going to say. Okay. was going into the hospital and was in a gurney, and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember it was a female doctor. It was like 3 doctors, but it was a female. And she's got like a clipboard. And she goes, okay, so Jimmy, we're going to admit you to the hospital. And I go, for how long? I remember saying that. And she goes, a few days. And I went, what? Out. That's the last thing I remember. That was it. And I woke up 4 days later. I want to say this. I can say this now. I didn't want to say anything about this publicly. This is a private family matter, but one of our own went down last Friday, Friday before Halloween. Brad and Michelle Harris have been, and their son Jonah, been, it's just family to me for a long time. And everybody knows Brad. Everybody knows Michelle. Everybody's seen Jonah, and great family, amazing. Michelle, Friday night at about 1 a.m, fell and bumped her head, and she's still in the hospital. And the last thing that happened, it was at 1 a.m. when she was taken to the hospital. She remembers that, but then out. And 2 days ago, I got a text from Brad saying she woke up almost a week later. And so I just got a text yesterday and today from Brad. So I'm just going to say this. Thank you, everybody, especially our circle of friends. We were all concerned and freaking out and losing our minds. But Michelle is expected to be released from the hospital in about a week. Brad said she's fine. She's back. She's with us. Everything's cool. It's just like, and I couldn't. It's not my business to say anything publicly. That's up to Brad. But I'm saying now that she's okay. And so there you go. All right. And so that was the other thing. I'm kind of giggling about this now. That was my comment. The last thing I remember was, okay, we're going to admit you for 4 days. What? Boom, out. Same thing happened to Michelle. It did. I can't wait to talk to her about this. Okay, I'm in the hospital. I slipped and fell. I'm so sorry. Boom, out. Same thing. Same thing happened. All right, let's see. Will you grab one of your guitars and play a few notes for us? I don't have, man. If I would have known I was doing an AMA tonight, I would have plugged one of those suckers in and played for you. Let's see. This is from XR. Hi, Jimmy. I need to take a break. We'll do that now. Hi, Jimmy. Did you hear about a Nobel Prize physicist say there's no space-time recently? I would like to know who that was. No, I haven't heard that. What do you mean no space-time? What does that even mean? No space-time. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, send me more information on that one. All right. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Please visit all of our sponsors. We're taking a quick break here. All of the links are below. We'll be right back. Join us November 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2023, live at the Luxor Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip, as Disclosure Fest Foundation and Fade to Black Radio presents Stairway to the Stars, a Human Origins Science and Technology Expo. With live talks, lectures, and workshops by world-acclaimed researchers and authors, featuring topics like human origins, ancient technologies, indigenous teachings, workshops, a mass meditation, yoga and sound healing, music, and so much more. This is Jimmy Church, by the way, and I'll be your host all weekend long. Don't miss our intimate sky watch and meteor shower over the infamous Area 51 airspace in Rachel, Nevada, with special surprise celebrity hosts guiding us through the night. This event will sell out. For more information and tickets, please visit disclosurefest.org. Hi, everybody. Jimmy Church here. Very special announcement, and that is we are shipping Fade to Black T-shirts again. It's been almost 2 years. We did a full upgrade to the website, so you can head over to jimmychurchradio.com. It's all simple to do, and it's right there. Remember, we broadcast 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday. We bring you the best, the brightest, the most knowledgeable and amazing guests, the best conversations. We do that 4 nights a week. We also do 4 days a week. We broadcast the news, and we do that live too as well. It's not a one-man show. I do it with website support. I do it with producers. I do it with writers and artists. All contribute to the show. The best way to help support what we do here is with the Fade to Black T-shirt. And you can get your Fade to Black T-shirt one of 2 ways. First, go to jimmychurchradio.com, order a shirt. It's really that simple. You're going to get a tracking number, it's going to get shipped, and it's going to get autographed. The second way to get a shirt is with a Game Changer membership. Now, the Game Changer membership not only includes a free T-shirt, but you get a private email to me. You get unlimited commercial-free downloads. You have full access to the website, and everything includes free shipping, and everything is autographed. So help support the show. Get your Fade to Black T-shirt today. The links are below. You can just go to jimmychurchradio.com, and it's right on the website. So there you go. I'm Jimmy Church, Fade to Black. I'm so excited that I just have one thing to say. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is Robert Clotworthy, the narrator of your favorite television show, Ancient Aliens. And I want to remind everyone that November 10th, 11th, and 12th at the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, Disclosure Fest is happening. Yes, Stairway to the Stars. And guess what? I'm going to be part of an Ancient Aliens panel. I will be sharing the stage with the biggest stars of Ancient Aliens, Nick Pope, David Childress, Jason Martell, William Henry, all hosted by Jimmy Church. Is it possible that this will be the most amazing convention ever? Could it be that if you don't get your tickets, you'll regret it? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes. See you in Vegas.
River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black tonight is an AMA. We had some technical issues before the show tonight, but Dan and George will be with us next week. We'll have everything sussed out. And put your questions in all caps. I will do my best to get to all of them tonight. Well, I won't get to all of them, but I'll make my answer shorter. Earlier, I was talking about the iPhone 15, and I had to go out and get some coffee. And I walked past my iPhone 14 is charging. So I grabbed it. And here's the 14. This is a 14. And that's got the lightning charger on it. So And what I was talking about was I've got a bunch of, this is a rechargeable case. This is for the 14. This is a set of lavalier microphones, and you can see that's got a lightning charger on it. This plugs on these work great. And you plug that in the bottom, and then boom, these are already flashing, and they're going, okay, we're ready to go. And you just plug that in. It works automatic. You don't have to do anything. Don't configure. And so now I've got these for my 14, which is great. 14, this is brand new. I got this a week before the 15 came out. And it's, so I had to get a 15, right? So anyway, this is a brand spanking new 14, and with these. And so for the 15, which is this phone, this is the 15. And so here is the setup here. And that's a USB and USB-C. And that just plugs in the bottom. That works just fine. And then these, it works so well too as well. All you do is just press the button on the side, and this thing turns on automatically. And the beautiful part about this is once, everything is charged and running, everything is automatic. But this, I bought these to test with the USB-C. So here's the whole set. But you've got, you really need a charging case. So that's my backup set. And I've got one with the charging case coming in because you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be out in the field shooting and then have your microphones die and you can't charge them. So there you go. And the drama all started with me with this. This was supposed to be something simple. Here's a USB drive with a lightning on this side, USB on this side. Plug this in. Now, so this worked with the iPhone 14, didn't work with the 13. And that's this right here. This little drive was the beginning of my drama, getting all of this sussed out. But now USB-C, everything works. Okay. All right. Let's see. Jimmy, what does this say? Jimmy, have you ever covered? Yes, I have. The Pentridge incident in Wales, February 2016. That's one of the more incredible, modern by any standard, 2016 UFO incidents, multiple witnesses, weird shapes. Yeah, that's a crazy. I need to. What I can do is I'm going to reach out to the principals in that case and have them on Fade to Black, and I'm going to do that really soon. Thank you for reminding me. It's Batman. I'm moving to Fort Wayne. God help me. Batman, I'll see you in Indianapolis in the middle of the summer. Okay, let's see. Swirling Spice. I got to eat at Versailles. In Venice. Awesome chicken like you recommended. Versailles. Versailles is so good. And it's a rare good too as well. It is so delicious that when I have guests from out of town and I want to make sure I take them to someplace special, right? You don't want to take them to Applebee's. No. I take them to Versailles because I know, and I order for them. They're not allowed to order anything but that number 6. That's it. Chicken, fried plantains, black beans, and rice with that garlic sauce with the onions over the top. And okay, all right. I just watch. I know what's about to happen. Man, they're just and I watched, and it's the closest thing to a near-death experience when you see the light at the end of the tunnel and your life has changed. It's like that. It's that good. So congratulations, Swirly Spice. Versailles will always back up my BS, and I'm full of BS. Full. I'm full of it. But Versailles will back it up, man. I can talk the long game all day long about Versailles, and I know that when I take people there, that they're going to have the same experience. I'll never forget the first time that that I went there, and it was 19. Do you hear that? I just heard voices. It's dead quiet in here. Did you guys hear that? Like a female voice? It's friggin' weird. Wow. Okay. All right. 1987, I went to Versailles. Yep. Changed my life. All right. Let's see. Jimmy, have you ever looked into the Cosyrev mirrors? Yes. And what are your thoughts? Okay. For those that don't know, it's been a while since I you know what this reminds me, I need to go back and get back into the research on them. It's it's a mirror, yeah, but it's a curled up mirror, like a piece of paper. So imagine taking a piece of paper and you curl it up like this. That's a Cosyrev mirror, but it's like shiny chrome. Okay. And then it's like this. And then you look into the mirror. Now it's reflecting on top of itself because it's mirrored on both sides. And then you look in to the end of it this way, and you look in and see the reflections. Now, there's a lot of different research that has gone into this and what happens with it psychologically, looking into the future, seeing the future and the past at the same time, and other effects on the mind and what you can see and what you can ask and what you can do and what you can feel. So, yeah, the short answer is yes, very, very fascinating subject. There is, I can't remember the name of it, but there is also, there's been movies made where you have a rotating mirror room that's got mirrors on the side. I can't remember the name of it. And that rotates and you sit and you watch this thing. So I think some of the kind of the same principles are there. Not it's not the same, and I don't want to imply that it is. But the Cosyrev mirrors are a very interesting idea and phenomenon. Yeah, no question about it. There's only so much time in the day, but I'm going to go back and jump into the Cosyrev mirrors. Okay, so again, picture a rolled up like tinfoil. Well, not tinfoil. Tinfoil is not reflective enough. But if you took something like that was chrome on both sides, mirror on both sides, and you curled it up and then loosened it up so the reflections happen off of both surfaces as it's going inside of itself, that's what it is. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Jimmy, what did the last UFO you saw look like? Okay. Okay, well, actually, that's kind of easy. The last one was like real sighting with a group of people was in Palm Springs at the end of July or early August, like right in there with Billy Carson and Elizabeth Hoekstra. And we took 20 people to Palm Springs. And Joshua Tree specifically, and even more specifically, Giant Rock. So we go out to Giant Rock. We're on top of this hill next to Giant Rock. where we were last year. I drove my Jeep up there, took a bunch of food, a bunch of people, and there were 20 of us up there. We did some live streaming and things. And as the sun started to set in the west, Giant Rock is below us. And as big as Giant Rock is, just imagine we're looking down on Giant Rock. We're on top of this hill. The sun is setting. The sun is gone. Still a little blue out to the west, but the sun is setting. The sky is black above us. Out to the west, still a little blue, right? But it's probably 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock at night. We've got our night vision. We're in a great mood. Everybody's, happy, and we're having a good time. And at that moment, Joe, from the west, right? I see, we all see it, but there's a gold orange light, bright, and it's coming towards us, and you can see it. It's low in the sky. It's not high. It's low. It's coming towards us. And Billy says, we had lasers and things, and Billy says, okay, everybody, that's an airplane. Because we all noticed it. That's an airplane. And so nobody flash your lasers at it. And I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm going, I don't know, man. I don't know. It don't look like a plane to me. And it's coming closer and closer and closer and closer. Finally, it comes right over the top of us. And it's low. It's not high. It's not high. And at that moment, when it is like right in front of us, it just turns like this and goes straight up. Right above us. Gone into the stars. It wasn't traveling fast, by the way. That was the crazy thing. So at that moment, now when it got above us, I couldn't see a shape, but it was now just a bright orange, spark, thing. Couldn't see a shape, but it was bright, it was low, and it was big. And then it turns and goes straight up, and Billy goes, I swear, I've got this on video. I know somebody does. Billy says, and I quote, Billy goes, I reserve the right to say that wasn't a plane. I was like, no, that was not a plane. And it was crazy. It was perfect. That sighting and the way that it happened was so much fun, because when it got, as it was getting pretty close to us, I'm looking at it in the night vision, and there's no flashing lights. I'm like, Billy, there's no flashing lights. No, man, it's a plane. No, man, I'm looking at it. There's no flashing lights. It was just a orange, sparkling. When I say it wasn't sparkling, but it was like iridescent all the way around, like the sun or something. Or like a very bright star, except for it was low. But I couldn't make out any shape. It was too bright, but it was low. It was right above us, just straight up and disappeared. Yeah. And what do you do? We had 20 people that were with us that night. What do you do with something like that? What do? You can't, there's no verification that it's ET or extraterrestrial. I don't know that for a fact. There's no verification that it's ours, that it's some NASA space test. It's not. I can tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't a rocket. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't a helicopter. It wasn't, a SpaceX launch from Vandenberg. It wasn't any of those things. It was exactly as I'm describing it to you. A bright orange ball. I don't even know if it was a ball. It was too many rays coming off of it. I don't know how to explain it. You know how the sun is, right? A star is too far away, even a bright star, or like a planet like Venus, but you can, you know what I mean? But you got the rays coming. It was like that, but it was crazy. It was crazy. Orange, like gold. a golden orange, not yellow, not bright white yellow. It was a little duller than that. It was color of orange, gold maybe. I'm leaning orange more than gold. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I got. It was crazy. Thank goodness we had 20 people that stood there and watched that thing. It was, yeah, Jimmy got hit by cosmic rays. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to scroll fast. I'm going to stop on the first. I'm going to stop on the first one. Okay, this. I don't know what this is. Jonah fish. You know that back in the dinosaur days, a huge frog used 2 T-Rexes for lunch. Probably. I like that, Jonah. That's funny, but probably true. Let's see. Peace of mind. Jimmy, why did you want to go and get yourself hypnotized? Who said that I did? Did I say that? Maybe I did. I haven't talked about that. About yes or no. Do you know something I know? See, you can get hypnotized and not even know it. So maybe I did and I don't remember. That's good. Now that I've got your attention. Yeah. They say never say never, right? And Marty. Oh, geez. Really? This is a great question. Okay, they say never say never. And I have said never a few times in my life. I'll never do this. I'll never do this. And I've given in on a few of those things. Now, when I say never, I can absolutely say with confidence, there are 2 things I will never do, ever. I'm not going to skydive, and I'm not going to bungee jump. Okay? I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I'm not. It's just not going to happen. And I know that I said there are a few things that I just won't do. And one of them is regressions, and I have my own reasons for that. And so my memories of certain things, I just want to leave them alone. I want to leave them alone. If I was going to, people know me too much. Okay, so I can't go to a therapist, any therapist, because they know I'm a public person. And I leave it all on the table. So how can I go to a therapist or a therapist that knows nothing about, they know everything about me. So to me, it's different if you go to a therapist, that therapist knows nothing about you, your life, your job, anything about you, your marriage, things, your cars or whatever. They know nothing about you. That's different. For me, who's going to tell me if I have somebody read my tarot cards? It's like, you kind of know everything about me, right? This really isn't an honest thing here. Read their tarot cards. Do you know this person? No. Okay. Read let me see their reaction. But me, you know everything about me, right? So if I was going to be regressed, it would have to be, if I was going to be hypnotized, it would have to be about something that I'm not going to discuss in advance. I don't want to know. Just get inside of my head and find out something that, about me that you don't know and that I don't know. And then we'll have a discussion. But until that situation presents itself, it'd have to be the right person at the right time. And so just think about that. All right. All right, let's see. I love this question. Marty Sasan, she says, In-N-Out or Continental Burger? He's from Pasadena. All right. All right. It's actually Burger Continental. But I understand. Which I've heard is not there anymore. Burger Continental, which was on the corner of Lake, I think in California. Lake and California streets in Pasadena. Burger Continental. Oh, man. That's a tough call. In-N-Out is In-N-Out. Oof. But Burger Continental was one of the greatest restaurants I have ever eaten at. Basically Greek food, but they had the best burgers too as well. And they had, I think it was on Monday night, they had dollar pitchers of beer, like dollar pitchers of Heineken. And I'm not kidding, man. Me and my friends, man, Monday night, that was the place to be, Burger Continental. So that's a tough call. So I will officially answer that, Marty. And she's from Pasadena. That's awesome. I haven't thought of Burger Continental in a while. I was there not too long ago, but maybe 10 years ago. Those that are in the know Burger Continental. And like I said, hands down, my favorite restaurant in Pasadena. Amazing place. Jessica says, are you going to have Matthew LaCroix on anytime soon? I just saw Matthew last weekend. I love Matthew, man. Matthew LaCroix. I'll get Matthew on. I'll get Matthew on. He's amazing. He's a great researcher. And what I love about Matthew is also Matthew's issue. Matthew steadfastly will not bend. And that's also an issue with me, right? You need to have an open mind too and listen to others. Because Matthew's like, nope. This is how it is. But I also love that about Matthew. He believes in his research. He's a strong young man. So I got to hang out with him for a little bit last weekend. Really good dude. Okay, WD-40, yes. Okay. I don't know what this is. Let me see here. It's too long. This is from Christy. Christy Hoover says, do you know James Westerman from the Isida Project doing research on the Assyrian? If not, Google him. I think he'd be a great interview. I will look him up. James Westerman. Hey, the Assyrian, I'm going to make a movie about it. And so to keep your eyes peeled, and I'm going to do my big reveal on that. Talking to all of the researchers that are looking into the Assyrian right now, Egyptologists and even the French will all tell you the same thing. Don't know. Got ideas. When you see it in person, it's mechanical. It's got a purpose. Just what is its purpose? It's just incredible. Incredible. When you're around megalithic stones, big ones, right? And you know it when you're around something big, and then it gets elevated to, you're around it for something, just something incredibly huge. And then you go to the Assyrian, where you're standing amongst the biggest granite blocks that you are going to see anywhere on planet Earth. 2 stories tall, 12, 15 feet wide. It's square, perfect. And there's not one, there's 10. It's just like, oh my God. It's just like, what? This don't make any sense. And they're perfect, and they're perfectly spaced. And then you round the corner, you look and you see that there's more used for the roof. There's 3 on the other side. ginormous, bigger. Okay, I don't know what kind of house you live in. Okay, but let's say you have a 2-story house, 2.5-story house. These blocks are bigger and taller than your living room. That big. And there's 10 of them. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'll show you all of my, and then the entrance to the wall, which I think is a water entrance at the end. Those blocks are all cornered. They're cornered like this. They overlap, and they're giant granite blocks with corners, and they overlap. It's like, what? I love that. I love that. All right. Next up. I love UFOs. Will Göbekli Tepe ever be fully excavated? I just said never say never. I'm telling you right now, no. It never will. It can't be. And the reason is it's stacked up on top of each other. So right now you're looking at the top of the hill and you're looking at the enclosures that are exposed. But there's more underneath and underneath and underneath. So what do they, now maybe on the outside, but fully excavated all the way? No, can't do it. You would have to take apart the top ring, enclosure D, enclosure C. You would have to remove those to continue to dig down. Now, will they use ground penetrating radar and go deep? Yeah. I could see that happening, and they're doing that now. But no, you can't. No. So down at the bottom of I don't know how many layers down, but 7, 8, 9 stories. I don't know. I'm guessing here is the original ring. And then they built more, and they built more on top of it, and more on top. We're looking at the top of the hill and the rings as they're being exposed. So will they continue to excavate? They found 25, I think, stone circles with ground penetrating radar. All of this stuff, I have watched archaeologists in person with my eyeballs, looking at them lying on their stomach with a brush. With my eyeballs, I'm like, how long do you plan on being there? Like a couple of years? Because you're not making any progress, right? Got a little blower blowing air down, a little squirt thing with water, doing that, and then brushing. I stood there for like 45 minutes. I was like, what do you do? What do you see? I wasn't allowed to get any closer, but I'm serious, man. Lying on their stomach on the bottom of this pit, on the edge of this wall, in a little spot this big, just dude. Wow. So it's archaeology is a long process. Let's see. Marty says, James Fox, I've known him since he was 3. Great guy. Is that true, Marty? Now you're just making stuff up. See, I was trusting you on the Burger Continental thing. He's from San Francisco. Are you from Pasadena or San Francisco? Maybe he lived down here. All right, let's see here. Okay, Marty. Okay, I only do one question per person per night, but you're from Pasadena. I saw a UFO over the Arroyo at Sierra Madre Boulevard, Pasadena. I used to live right there. Right there. Yeah. I was so close to there. I was on El Molino and what was that? Walnut. Like right there by Rick's Tacos. If you know Pasadena, you know Rick's Tacos, which is not there anymore. Anyway, yeah. Well, okay. So that spot that she's talking about right here, that's where JPL is. That's where the Jet Propulsion Laboratory is. Anything. The show is live, but the chat is pre-recorded. I love that. All right, let's just scroll. I'm gonna grab the next all caps. The next all caps. The next all caps. Here's the next all caps. This is from Alexander. He says, do you feel like the momentum we had since the beginning of the summer has begun to wane? I do not. I think it's the exact opposite. You should see my email and the conversations that I have every single day with people. No. This whole UFO disclosure thing is picking up momentum. So Alexander, Ben, I don't know. No. And I don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the year, but I have no idea. Jimmy needs to get hypnotized. Oh man. Okay, next I'm spinning really, really, really fast. Okay, next one. Your most profound experience in Egypt this time. If you said, I really haven't talked about that much, and that is from Stacy D. Thank you, Stacy, for that. I did, a few things stand out, and again, I want to put this in the movie because I have a bunch of video. But standing in the middle of the Sphinx pause at sunrise, watching the sun come up in the east, and going through that moment, going from total darkness, was pretty crazy. Oh, so we saw a UFO that morning too as well. That was profound. So we're in the back of the Sphinx at the tail with Muhammad Ibrahim. We've got 80 people. We're back there. And this one of the people with us, his name was Phil. Phil, if you're listening, I've got the video. I think Phil gave me the permission to show this video. And I'm not making this up. And I've got the video. So I'll get it out there, I promise. So we're sitting in the back and Muhammad's talking. And then I hear Phil go, "Whoa, I just saw a UFO." And we all turn around, and Phil's got his iPhone, and he was just recording, and it just happened. And so he stops, and we all crowd around him. He rewinds the video, and sure as I'm sitting here talking to you, he's filming Muhammad talking, and in the background, in the sky, you see it, and it goes up. It goes. It's about 2 seconds. And it is like, somebody explained that one to me. It was like that. And I was like, no, man, no, let me see that again. You know me, I'm just like, man, that's headlights in the trees. That's I debunk everything out of the gate because I don't want to lose my mind. I watched that video 50 times over the trip, just going back and looking at it. Yeah. Okay, so the most profound experience in Egypt, though, I had a few this trip, but I did. I went into the king's chamber, and I was alone. So I go into the king's chamber, and I put my hands on the wall, and I just pushed my hands up against the granite, and it was pretty trippy. And I don't want to say it wasn't. I'm not saying it was spiritual, but you could feel it, man. The electricity, just like you could feel it, just shoot right up your arms. But it's granite, it's crystalline rock. It's there's pressure and there's all this energy in there from the weight and the thing that the pyramid itself. It's a machine that's alive. We just got to figure out its purpose. But anyway, just put my hands on the wall and leaned into it. It's pretty friggin' cool, man. It's pretty cool. All right. Jimmy, Impossible Burger or Beyond Meat? That's from Kim Jellin. Kim, never say never, right? But this time I'm saying never. I'll never know. I'll never know. I'll never find out. I'll never find it. No. It's okay. I just turned 60 years old. At this point in my life, you know, I'm going to leave some things undiscovered, and that's one of them. I don't have a need for it. So there you go. Okay. Let's see. Jimmy, if you could contact only one deceased pet, which one and why? Oh, Minky Sue. That's tough. You know, losing a pet and going through that process, I've done it 3 times now. It sucks. That's the most miserable, emotional, crazy. So there you go. I don't even like thinking about it. And so let me put it to you this way. All right, let me put it to you this way. You knew your pets, and you still know your pets, and they are still with you. That's the way I deal with it. That's the way I deal with it. That's it. I don't want to. I just don't want to go there. It's just too rough. So that's it. I knew them. I still know them. They're still with me, and that's it. That's it. All right. So no, I'm not going to reach out to a deceased pet. No, they're still with me. That's the way that I look at it. Okay. I know there's a lot of questions here, and I haven't gotten to them all. Danny Staten, when is Dolan going to be on again? I'm going to be with Richard this weekend at Stairway to the Stars. Come out to Stairway to the Stars, meet Richard, ask him a question yourself. He'll be on soon. You know, I try to have Richard on about once a month. Is this live or replay live? Are angels real to you? To me? No. You're saying angels as in the religious side of angels? Like angels in the Bible as angels are represented there in biblical texts? No. No, not for me. Now, spirits, energies, nether dimensions, interdimensional, all of that, yeah, that's 100% real. So, in my opinion, just me, that they are called angels 2,000-3,000 years ago. All right. And, 1,500 years ago. They didn't have another word. So, and the only way to safely talk about them to the rest of the world is say God, right? Call them angels so nobody freak out. But that's my take, and I have the feeling I'm right. So there you go. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at the clock. Let's get as many of these in as we can. I know I'm scrolling too fast. It's kind of like a roulette wheel where I can just spin and just grab, spin and grab, spin and grab. What time is it here? I don't know. Let's see. Spin and grab. It is like a roulette. When I was in the United Kingdom, they had me go up on stage and do a raffle. Jimmy, can you do this raffle? And they gave me this thing, and I had an assistant. And, it's one of the things, and you spin it, and then you open up the thing, and you pull out, right? And I actually did that. I got up on stage, man, and spun this thing, pulled out a name, and the lady was there too. That was crazy. She was like, jumped up, and ran up to that. That was a lot of fun. And I did it twice. I got to do it twice. There's a name for it in Great Britain. I don't know what they call it, but there's a thing. I don't even know what they call it here. It's like bingo night, and you got a crank, and it's this this thing with a net or a screen, and you can see everything tumbling. Then you a little latch, and you open the door. You reach it. Oh man, I was like, man, really? Yeah, Jimmy, we need you to do this. So, Jimmy, you can ask one question to somebody who has passed. What is this with this deceased stuff? You can ask one question to someone who has passed. Who? And what would you ask? I don't know. You need to narrow a question like that down. What? Like a relative? Right? Ask a deceased relative or a deceased famous person, right? Elvis, right? John Bonham. Do you go there? Jimi Hendrix. Were you an alien? Really? David Bowie. Do you ask something like that, or do you go in the deep past? I was going to say like Einstein, or do you go way back? Do you go way back and ask, how the Antikythera mechanism, I don't know. Where do you go with that? I have no idea. I have no idea. I can ask anybody that was dead a question. Where would I go? Man, I would almost go more modern. Maybe go to a musician. John Bonham would be fun. Randy Rhoads would be fun. Dimebag Darrell. I would love to get inside of his head. Maybe Randy. Randy died so tragically young and was just so magical. Well, they all were for their own reasons. But I had the feeling I would go with a musician. But where do you go? Where do you go with that? Bowie would be good too as well. Bowie, if and the reason why I say that as directly, you know what? I never checked Twitter tonight. And I apologize for that. Let's see here. A quick question here on Twitter. HH, do you think there is a soul collector on the moon? That's John Lear made that kind of that idea public, made it popular that there were soul collectors, antennas on the moon. And I got to go with Leonard Susskind on this one. Anything is possible and will happen. There has been a lot of talk. I've talked to Linda Moulton Howe about this. I've talked to William Henry about this. I've talked to Whitley Strieber about this, mostly in private, some of it public, about this idea of soul collectors and containers out there in the universe, and would ET be using them? Because we hear so many references back to that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When you hear that, I don't want to contaminate people's experiences or their research or where their research is going or where it's headed, because quite frankly, none of us have the answers. Not at this point. I don't think, at least nobody in the public. Maybe, somebody in the government has got answers, but we don't. And there is so much to the contact with aliens being not, showing no empathy, no emotion, that you wonder if they do have, in the comments about they need consciousness and they need us, they need contact with us because of their lack of feeling and empathy and the soulless a soulless container, a container without a soul. And so we hear this enough that maybe there's some truth to that. And I'll leave you with this. At the end of, I'm not giving away anything here, but at the end of Childhood's End, go watch the movie. Read the book. In the end, aliens blow up the earth. That's it. It's over. It's done. And Milo, this young kid that grows up during the alien contact with ET, grows up to be a physicist. And he wants all of the answers. And, the kids, it's Childhood's End, that's the title of the movie. The children of Earth are being taken to an alien planet. The adults are left here to die. All right. And so anyway, and it's the last generation of Earth. And so because it's the last generation, they cure all diseases. There's no jobs. You just get to do whatever you want to do and not have it be, it's like their gift. Nobody knows that the planet's about to end. But anyway, so the kids are removed. They're lifted up, floated away, boom, and taken to this planet. Milo, this physicist, gets on. They're taking animals and plants and stuff, and he hops a ride on one of the ships that's going to the alien planet. He gets discovered. And so E.T. finds him and sits him down and goes, dude, what are you doing? And he goes, man, I'm a physicist. I just want to know, the answers to all of this. And they said, you're the last adult human. That's it. Now, we'll give you can stay with us. We'll let you live. You can stay with us. He goes, no, what do you mean? Earth is going to be. And he goes, you know what? I just want to go back. So he goes back. They send him back to Earth. He's the last human on the planet. And he's sitting there and he's like talking into this camera. And the two ETs that are on the ship that are about to press the button, right? Blow up Earth. They're going to. And they just do it. And Earth goes. And one of the ETs says to the other one, it's just like no reaction. He's like, and he goes, so it is done. Ship turns on and flies away. And you know what they left behind? Milo asked for a memory of Earth to be left. So they have a recording of a violin, like some orchestra music, but it's like violin. And they leave it in the area where Earth was. And one of the ET says to the other guy, he goes, we'll leave this here for anybody that does a drive-by and they can hear it. They've done it. That's it. That's it. No soul, no compassion, no nothing. So maybe that soul container idea is a real one. And with that will wrap tonight's AMA. I want to thank everybody for all of the great questions. I know I didn't get to them all and all of that, but it was a lot of fun. I miss doing this. We haven't done this in a couple of months. And so there you go. Lots of fun tonight here on Fade to Black. And I'm going to let you go. Let's see. What have we got going on tomorrow? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I'll tell everybody what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is Janice Oberding. Tomorrow night, we're going to be doing Haunted Nevada tomorrow night with Janice. So 3 first-time guests this week. Well, tonight didn't happen. That'll be next week. But that's tomorrow night right here on Fade to Black. All right. I hope everybody had a good time tonight. I had a lot of fun. And with that, I want to say that Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. I want to thank John Aside and you know what, Bill, you're amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you to Kevin. Thank you to Drew the Geek. He is the webmaster. The music playing right now is by Doug Aldrich. The intro is Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2023 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until tomorrow night with Janice, I want everybody to be safe. Go back, Lee Tappy.